Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
Now, today what I'll do is I will share the real-time examples and we will go from there. This is one of the studio that I have. Now what I want to do is let's go a little more deeper. Say this is what we have done till now. We have the start here, component. And then we have done some launch parameters. Now to use them, we need to. First thing is to fetch that launch parameter in some variable. Yeah. After start, here we have this component called Eval. If you search for Eval, it will come up and you can drag and drop Eval. You can rename it whatever you want. Like in my case, I've written it. The name has launch parameter. Now, when you open that expressions, right, this is the place. Let me show you this new one, right? When you drag and drop a new one, it comes up like this and you click on plus. It gives you this blank space here, right? This is the place where you write your one-liner codes. Right. And what those one-liner codes are. They are nothing but Eval expressions, which are also open source. These are the basic syntaxes here and all that stuff, whatever you do. Now let me show how we do it. First thing is which is called a variable is called a property. To declare you just write props. Short form of properties is props. And in Studio there is this helper write. You don't have to write everything. You just write PR and then do control space. And it opens up like this. Then you can double click and it just populate. You see this my prop name. This is the name of the variable. You can keep it whatever you want, like update. Prop date means it is creating a variable with the name date. Now what you can do is you can assign any value here, right? I say this is the value in this. Similar to that. Similarly, you can add another one, create another variable. My prop name 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Right. That's how you assign variable value to the variable. Now, in our case, what we have to do is we have to fetch the value of the launch parameter. Right. Launch parameter short form is LP. UppTalk control space. Now it gives you all the functions. Right. Look it. If your launch parameter is of type date, right, you choose. You have chosen date. Then you choose lp.getDate. If it's simple one, lp.simpleData. Like say for example here, if you see in my start here, I have launch parameter as from date and to date. Both are date time. What I will write here is lp dot Get simple data from date. Right. Here, what I'm doing is I'm getting it as data because my requirement was different. I wanted it to change the time zone and all that stuff. This is a complicated stuff here. Don't look at it as you will get confused. This is all copied from Google. Not too afraid. Right. LP dot. Get simple data and then you give the value. What I am doing here is in the chat of this Zoom. I am pasting these formats. If, for example, you have given, oh, let's do that. I am the demo one. What's that? Demo one. See, this has all this kind of stuff. I delete that. Connect it to this one. Info sum. Start here. What's the name? Test. Once parameter is from red, run for full file. Let me add another one here. Whatever. User ID and I give it as text and save it. Now in the Eval expression, I have employee status. Active employee status is what is this prop status. Delete. My first launch parameter is saved from date. Right? I will come here. I will say props control space choose is equal to lp dot get. Get it. And then in the label, what you have to do is you have to choose the name of your launch parameter. Then I will also here from date. Alright. The other one is to date. I will copy this. Come here. Instead of from date, I will do it this. And here it will be. You have to be very careful with these codes and all that. If there is anything missing, it will give you an error. And it will. Sometimes it doesn't show it. You will be able to deploy it, but when you run it, it will be error. And then you'll not be able to find out the name of this full file. User Alfie. Now, I saved it. Now say if I want to display it right, what I will do is I will have my log component. I'll put it here, but what this log will show, this Eval is just populating the variables, right? It is not changing the message. Whatever message was, their message is the same. It is just an extra stuff of populating some variables, right? That means after this Eval, the message is the same whatever was before Eval, because Eval is not doing any manipulation on the message, right? In the log, you by default have message content, right? If I make this one, this message content will have what it will just have the name of that integration and the user and all that stuff. What I have to do is I have to put a text stuff, right? And in this text stuff, now here, I have to put the variable like in your normal coding. You display variable, right, what the value is, right? You just whatever text you write here will get displayed in the log file, right? Here say if I want my first thing, which is this props from it, right? I can write here like this from date is equal to this is, since it's in black, right? All that, it's a normal text. It will print as is right now. I want to show the value of it. What you do is here you see embed, click on this embed and just paste your props. Click on and it will do the auto syntax LSV. The way to do it is if it's to date, right? You go there and what we call P control C in the log. Here the syntax is at the rate curly brackets and then you put this one. But again, you might miss a bracket or something. The best way is you keep copy this, come here and then user it is equal to click on the symbol and paste your stuff there and it will automatically do that. The last one is right. Even though I have given it like this, it will just print it as is right. Now let me deploy this one. What's the name of this? Incident test. What's the error? There are integration attributes enabled for this. I think now there is this service which is enabled and it's required. We haven't covered it yet. Let me delete it and then deploy it again. Now we have to specify first 25th node text is something, this one. error good. Now if you see it says loop detected in the local, see the consolidated report integration field. Now if you see it saying reference this, what is that? All the time it says loop detected in the local. Now I will answer it again when I start to give to the store on a OBU 3 video if I read. But again, we have asked. Let's see. It says, see the consolidated report for further report, right? The way we do it is you go ahead, you see her view, consolidated report and log, you click on that and then it's done. This is the consolidated, right? You download it and then showing folder sync, opening it, opening right. It is a file like this, but again it is saying the same error, integration failed, terminated. Let me just try running it again. It just tells you which component. It tells us like, can you show the composite report? Right, there you have. Just search for error underscore raised right error and the raise will give you put integration property. Oh, what was happening was this property is required, but this is not set right. That means that in our studio, this properties, which was summary, it was blank, right? That's what the error. That means our variable declaration is correct. And that's why it went till that phase, else it would have got the error till before that itself. This is processing, should complete in seconds. 3 block files. This is the server log. Here you go right, this is what we have entered. That's how you get it now. What the functionality will be is now you have got this, the value in your variable right. You have to be able to get the value in your variable right. Later on in the processing, whenever it is needed, you will call this variable and get the value. Now let's see another service which was we have seen launch parameter. We got that. And then is this attribute and map service, very important one, right? We give a name here, attribute service, whatever. And if you have seen on the connector or on other integration, we do have integration attributes and integration maps which you set up. Yes, right? What does those normally have? Right on attributes. This is a very important thing for removing the hard coding, very important concept. Say, for example, you are calling an API. Say a vendor has given you an API which you have to call and it has a OL. There is a user aid, there is a password, right? One way is you code it in your stuff here, right? You pop, create a variable, or you directly hard code that variable, the value, the username and the password there and all that, right? In that case, what will happen is, say, there is a policy that after every 90 days the password will change. In that case, what you have to do is, after every 90 days, you have to come open the studio, change the variable, then deploy it again. And that's not a good practice, right? That's a bad one because you're doing a hard coding there. What's the way? The way is using this attribute and maps. What we do is in attributes, you just declare again its similar type as you have in launch parameter, right? Simple type enumeration and your reference. Say now, this is the one here. My first is user id. Right now I can choose, it's a text. Again, there is another button here. If you click on that, it will say it is required for launch or display it as password, right? Required for launch. If I check this, that means when I will deploy it, integration. You cannot run this integration unless you configure this value because it's required, right? Now another. I did another one, which is say password, and then say another one is all, again, it will be the text and that's it, right? Now I will save it and deploy it. Let me show you first how the integration looks right now. If you see integration, if you see this integration attributes, it has nothing there, right? Only one value, which is Y default one. Now let me deploy it and then we will see how it looks. It's deployed. Now, if I click it, it is showing me error, saying you there are attributes which are required for launch. And what does this mean? Now I have these three attributes here, user aid, password, and URL. This is required for launch, right? Now it is out from the code. Now it is out from the code and then you can see the password and password is in the password, right? You come here. Integration system, configure integration attribute. You have to just come here. First is the user aid, then you give password and password was in the password form. I didn't do that, but that is something. We have to enable it as password. Yes, cool. And //test.com. This is how you set up this attribute. Set please. Now what we'll do is say in our studio, we have to call it right. This is how we get it from the launch parameter. Now we have a similar way of fetching it from the attributes. It is again, you will do a props right. Say you want to see get. The user aid is equal to insys.get attribute. Again, this is one right. Insys stands for integration system. Look first right. Insys why we are doing indices because it is on the integration itself. integration system. Right, you see this integration system. This is configured here as an attribute. That's why the syntax is instance.getAttribute. And then you give the name of your attribute, which you have configured. If you have to do it in the code and then you have to display it, you know how to do it in the log. Just put this variable and then add the rate props. The things remain the same. This was this in the services password, right? You come here and say display as password, right? That's the best way because password nobody should see. When you do this, it will. That star 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 thing will come up. Nobody will be able to see that. Then comes the maps. Now what are maps? Say the thing is if it's an integration where the requirement is in Workday, if the value is male, the output should be L. If it is female, you need to put it as. What's the way to do it? The way is you if it is. If it is, you can see if it is a valid condition in the code. Write if gender is equal to male, send. If gender is equal to female, then this value is F. But if you see it's a hard coding again, say the vendor later on says, change it female, send me fee, NOF. Again, you have to go to the code and do that stuff, right? That's why this thing comes up. This map say I give it the name as gender, right? And it is text. And this one is the output type is also text. Again, simple type and numeration, time you select. If you want from Workday, right? Let me first give it as a random text stuff, which is equivalent to say bank account, for example. The other one is gender. Now hit this one I want from Workday. I will select class report feed. And when you select on this again, you choose gender and next, next, next and finish, and external type is text. Let's say keep it and just save it. I will deploy it. And you see the difference. Undefined stuff, nope. I think I don't have the access for the gender stuff. That's that happened earlier as well. In this one, I will remove that part just here and let me show you with this one. But you can try on your own. For the class report field, it is similar to how you did for launch parameter and all that. Now it should be deployed. Now if I click on it, you will see another tab here, which is now for maps and attributes. Now if you see here, the password is now star star star, right? You cannot see it. Then comes map. Now you have this bank account map. How to configure that is, you go to integration system, configure integration maps. Now the requirement is of say, if the bank account in Workday is 1000, the output should be 1, 2, 3, 4. If in Workday the bank account is 2000, the output should be 4, 5, 6, 7. It is 3000, then value should be 9, 8, 7, 6 like evaluated expression correct. That way you don't do a hard coding of if this, then send this and all that nothing. The way this works is you will get, and when we will do the use cases, it will be clear. But as of now, you understand how we do this now. The way you get the key, and let me open an integration which has this part sequence generator attributes. This is get attribute stuff. This is the map reverse lookup thing. I think reverse lookup is the opposite. No, ignore, don't get afraid. What was our? Let's say the property name is bank account right now. Bank account right now. Sys.getMap. What was that? Get even, I forget that. Integration, full integration is this stuff. Is this in sys.integration map space? Now you see here integration map. Yes, gets maps, integration map lookup type and all that stuff. Map. You see this map lookup right? As this says what is the map name and you pass the key. What does this mean? If you see here what is our map name, I go to here the map name. Right? You put here the map name as bank account. What is the key? Key meaning corresponding to what you want to know the value, right? This is the key, 1000. Now, if you pass here 1000, this bank account will have 1, 2, 3, 4. And the other thing which I was having on the other one, right? Let's say now I do it props just I'll do bank. And why we are hard coding here is I will tell you reverse. Now you will understand. Here is external value, right? It's just the opposite. Then it will give 1000. It is just on the functionality part, right? First is you pass internal value and you get the external value. That is normal integration map lookup. But if you want to pass 4, 5, 6, 7 and want to get 2000, then you do a reverse lookup. And now you are saying we are passing the hard coded one. Yes, just to show you, but in the ideal condition it will be available. We will just give this copy, this one, and instead of this, you will just use this. These two are very important meaning in terms of removing the hard coding and all that cool then. Thank you. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.